and welcome to another episode of the Scott and Jamie Show. I'm Jamie with Velocity and you're not Scott.
Nope.
We're actually on location in Los Angeles where I am doing some work for Velocity this weekend. And so I thought rather than Scott, I'd bring my best friend Jeff Drongowski from Drongo Photos. Thanks for doing this with us.
You're welcome, thank you.
Thanks. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about positivity and PERMA since I'm doing a lot of training this upcoming week about that. And I was actually talking to you a little bit last night about PERMA. So for those of you playing the home game, PERMA is positive emotions, it's engagement, it's positive relationships, meaning and purpose, and achievement. And those 5 things together create Captain America. Now, create happiness.
Of course it does.
Yeah, Captain Planet.
That's right.
Now, those 5 things together are what our 40% of our happiness actually comes from, right? And so as we were talking about one of the photo shoots you did earlier this month?
Oh, this month.
Okay. We were talking about how great of a shoot it was. And so tell me a little bit about what the organization was you were shooting for.
Okay. I was shooting a fundraiser for No Kid Hungry, and this is an organization that raises money to bring breakfast to kids in schools. And it was founded by Billy Shore, and the spokesperson is a pretty well-known celebrity, actor Jeff Bridges. And it was a really great organization that was a bunch of people that really motivated to do the right thing and put food in hungry kids' mouths.
Yeah. And what we were talking about is a lot of times as you're the photographer on a shoot, it can be the behind the scenes of an event like that can be very stressful, right?
Never. All of my clients are fantastic and everything goes off without a hitch.
But this event in particular actually was really amazing.
It was actually, yeah. It was exemplary for a lot of reasons, but not the least of which that everybody on board was just incredibly motivated and excited to be there, and seemed to be just working really well together, and you know, excited to be there. And that's not always the case for everybody.
Yeah.
But everybody, to a person, was motivated and you know, just really committed to it.
Right. And so as we were talking about this, I was like, you know, the reason why that it was such a wonderful event is if you look at those 5 aspects of PERMA, like every single one is touched by this organization. And so it's no wonder that they feel really great about themselves, and it's a great experience for anybody who gets involved.
Sure.
Positive emotions. Gratitude is a huge positive emotion, and there's a lot of gratitude in giving and in the folks that we're receiving. Engagement, or the idea of flow experience, it seemed like everybody who you worked with was really like losing track of time. You know, they were so excited about the event and what was happening.
Oh yeah, it flew by. I mean, everybody was just so involved in every part of it, and just you know, like you said, fully engaged.
Yeah. Relationships. A lot of relationships amongst the groups, but it seemed like everybody who was there had a really good time and connected well with one another.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody was there to do a good thing, and that was certainly fueling the energy level and the commitment of everybody. And it's, you know, when you've got that great PERMA situation, I guess, what you end up with is just a fully functional team that's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. Meaning, tons of meaning, and helping feed hungry kids. That's definitely a huge cause, and one that would allow people to feel a great deal of happiness. And then, where do you think the achievement in PERMA comes from in that event?
There was a lot of money raised, for one thing. I mean, I know it was over $100,000 in funds that were raised for that cause, and I think we all had a different personal reason for feeling like it was an achievement. So
yeah. So I think when you look at an event like this, it was so interesting how you can sort of check and see, like, oh, if you had a really wonderful experience, how much of those PERMA activities were you able to check off in that experience? And if you had a poor experience, was it because it was missing 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or even all 5 of those aspects of PERMA?
Everything goes really well all the time with me and my clients. So.
That's true, because I'm one of your clients.
Absolutely.
Perfect in every way.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks so much for talking to us, Jeff. And
my pleasure.
Next week we'll have Scott back here. Actually, I'll be back in DC, and Scott will be there with me. And so until next week.
Next week?
Until next week.
Until next week.
Bye.
Bye.